All right, welcome on back to another episode of Trap Road to Hell. As always, I'm your host, Travis Gunnarsson. Visit me this week, Hardy. He already said how he was doing. He was doing good. The fucking flag fell again. I mean, in record time. Not even a full 30 seconds into the show, the flag fell behind me. So this is, I mean, it's absurd. I gotta put something more permanent up so I don't have this fucking problem anymore.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell the people again how you're doing?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's gonna be a different. I gotta put out a blooper reel. That first one, just fucking motherfucker.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's good shit right there. Real quick, wanted to say shout out to Ty Gundy, the man. Happy birthday, or happy late birthday. Birthday was on Friday, and last Sunday was Cheese from Curveballs and Chair Shots birthday. So happy birthday to you too, sir. Great stuff. They've been putting out some good content. I don't know if you've followed them. Dominic said that if Albert Pujols beat Kyle Schwarber during a home run derby, he would kiss Cheese on the lips, which ended up happening in the very first round. So he had to kiss him on the lips. It was a funny video. Cheese was pretty funny during it. I mean, he's just sitting there waiting for a kiss, promoing it. Dominic gave him a little peck, and I'm like, man, I would have just went for it. Just go for it, right?
Hell yeah.
No fucking, don't be fucking weird about that shit. Don't, what did I comment? I commented on the Instagram, there should have been a 5-second rule. You got to kiss for longer than 5 seconds, otherwise it doesn't count.
Where can you find that footage?
It's on the YouTube, their Facebook, their Twitter. Also, I believe they put part of their last episode on their YouTube page. So they're growing the game as well. Good for them. I'm very happy for them, even though they claim to hate me. So every week.
Is that still going on?
No, there's nothing going on anymore. It was great. Remember, so we talked about this and we run through this more than a few times. And finally, my brother just, started talking to me about it because he didn't show up to their show for 2 weeks. And then Dominic had went on one of the episodes and was like, I guess I pissed him off, blah, 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 blah. And he's not going to show up. So I talked to him and my brother, and I was like, what's going on, brother? What's happening? And he's like, oh, well, I just wanted to be able to do shows when I want and not feel the need to be there every single week. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, if you would have just told me that a long time ago, I would have had no problem with it. You didn't have to do this whole rigmarole thing. But I guess Dominic, I don't know. He obviously took it a different way because he came at Ty kind of sideways. I guess this is all, I'm hearing it from mouth to mouth.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so I mean, he might have been joking. I don't know. I wasn't there to hear the tense, but what I was told was it seemed kind of sideways, and he was like, if you're not going to show up this week to do your segment on the MLB portion, I'm not going to show up at all. And Ty's like, this is not my show. Was telling him, this is not my show. This is your guys' show. I just want to be able to come on when I want. So then he just said, I'm done. Retire. He said he was retiring, which he should have just told them the truth too. And then he came over and did my show this show the week after. And they're like, he said he was retiring, and then he went and did that show. But that's when he talked to me, and he said he just wants to be able to come and go. So I floated out there to him, once every couple of weeks or whatever, or I keep in contact, hey, I'm going to, ask you if you want to come on. You don't be afraid to tell me no. It's all right. No worries. I asked him if he wanted to come on today, because yesterday he just got back from his camping trip. He's like, probably not going to happen, but I'm free all this week, so I'm going to try and get him on and do a couple drafts. I hope I can get you on too, Hardy.
Yeah.
I was hoping to. What's up?
You didn't go on that camping trip?
No, I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Okay.
One, I'm still I cannot get my truck smogged. So the check engine lights on. I've talked to you about this. It's been going on for almost. It's almost going to be a year in August that I can't deal with it. The problem is, right, that I don't always have the most money laying around, especially after moving to the apartment. I don't have a lot of extra scratch. So kind of things got halted on when I can buy new parts and try and throw them at the problem. And my dad is is my mechanic. Like, he's a mechanic. We've always worked on things together. He basically told me the last time we did something, like, I'm out of options. I don't know what's going on with the emission system. So then I ended up getting one more part. I drove it all the way down to Alameda to my coworker Jerry's house. He works on cars. We switched it out, and I'm still having the check engine light. So, I don't, because I had to smog it for, this past year. It was supposed to be smogged in August. I don't have registered tags on it. So it's
Gotcha.
20. So I'd love to go out there and, you know, don't nobody pull me over. Don't tell where I'm at, but I'll drive it around town if I need to, go to stop. But I don't want to take it on long road trips. One, um, and two, like, even if we go, okay, well then let's just take the car. We don't have enough space to fit everything we need for camping in the car or anything like that. And then on top of that, we had our dog Bruno pass away right before. So
Yeah, there's a couple things in there. First, the cheddar thing's gonna be changing, right? You just mentioned yesterday. You sent us a picture of your fucking lineman.
yeah, I
What's up
gotta.
with that?
Yeah, no, that's really good. So I told you guys that eventually I would, get out of the
Yeah,
warehouse position and move into the field and start learning the trade a little bit. They finally got somebody. It was crazy because it was like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I was like really pushing. I'm like, hey guys, or so no, hold on. Let's go even like a couple months ago, or yeah, a couple months ago we did our reviews. And in my review, I said, I'm ready to take that next step that I had mentioned to you guys. I'd like you guys to start looking for a replacement for me in the warehouse, right? So then maybe a few weeks ago, they came to me and said, "Hey, we're interviewing a guy, who would take your spot." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." They brought him in a week later. So last week, Monday was his first day. I trained him all last week, and I said, he's a little slow at doing the job, but just like anything, just like anything,
yeah,
you don't just jump in and most of the time get it like that. So, but I was like, you know what? He seems like he's really understanding the basics of it. He'll be good. They go, okay, good. Here's your hand tool list that you need to provide. Here's your power tools. Here's a ladder. Next week, you go on Monday. You're going to meet. You're going to start in the field. Go to Santana Row on Monday.
oh shit.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm all good. I'm all hooked up. I bought my yeah. I decided I bought some stuff from Harbor Freight, and I kept out of the picture. But I
Well,
bought I
hey, you
bought the
gotta
good
start slow, dude.
I bought the good linemen's. I figured that the
Yeah,
linemen's are probably the ones that you're gonna be using most of the time. So but buy the good stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, when it comes to tools, you always got to start from the bottom. You can't just go out and buy the fucking $500 tools right away first day. It just doesn't
Right.
work that way.
Yeah. I bought a little like a little leather pouch that hooks on the belt. Loaded my
Yeah,
shit in there. I'm excited. I'm super excited, dude. You know how
yeah,
long I've been waiting to just go
yeah.
get my hands on some shit.
No, it's fucking fun as fuck too. Getting into construction or any kind of something where you're actually doing something with your hands.
Yeah,
It's very fulfilling.
that's all I ever wanted to do, you know?
Yeah,
But from whenever it was, trying to apply for electrician's apprenticeship program to I applied for, the pipe fitters out of Concord and this and that, and finally I'm gonna fucking get to do it. So I'm just excited to get my chance.
hell yeah. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was super juiced. I was like, I can't wait to send these guys a picture. I can't wait to send these guys a
Yeah.
picture. And then Ken hits me right back with what do you do with those? You're like, fuck you, dude. Stop trying to Donnie me, all right? What's new with you? How's your work going?
It's fine. I had one more question though, and if you
Yeah,
don't
go
want to
ahead.
answer it,
No,
please,
go ahead.
please don't. But what happened with your dog? As somebody who follows you, I know your listeners follow you too. They
Yeah.
want to know because you went over it last week very briefly,
Yeah.
and we all care about you, and we're left on a cliff, wanting to know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just
It's gonna be tough, I know.
it's real it's just, it's a chain reaction that just unfortunately led to this happening. So, I was over at our friend Ken's house, hanging out, playing poker, having a good time. We were chilling, and my boy Bruno was with me. Bruno was English, like a little English bulldog, or whatever the hell they're called. Yeah. So
Yeah, and I was
uh
there that day too.
yeah, Hardy was there. He had left
Just left, I
early.
guess.
Yeah, you had just left because you left right after we stopped playing poker.
You guys are
And
still
then
playing a little bit.
so okay, we were still playing a little bit. So after we finished up poker, I was like, hey, Ken and Donnie wanted to play some cornhole. I think we all wanted to play some cornhole, but I was talking to Brody about trimming his hair, and I was like, if your dad had clippers, I'll trim you up, buddy. So I got everything set up on the patio, like right by the glass door. Got him all set up, started cutting his hair. Donnie and Ken went down there to play some cornhole, and Travi was running around. And I mean, I did the complete haircut, and it was only till I had took Brody to the edge of the patio and was like, "Hey Ken, how's his hair look?" And Travi had walked over, but he was walking by the pool and had spotted out like, "Dad in the pool," and then looked in there, and he's just I it's real fun because I mean I seen his coat in there, like he wasn't floating at the top. I seen his coat down at some depth. I don't know. It might have been the very bottom. It was close. And I just I threw my phone and just jumped in and pulled him out. And then we tried to resuscitate him. And it was just flat out too late. So then
Yeah.
we had to go through the whole process of trying to find a emergency section.
Veterinarian.
Yeah, we only knew about one emergency veterinarian that was open. We took him over there and dealt with that. But yeah, so he
Okay.
yeah, he it was good dog, man. It's really sad that we only had him for as long as we did. We had rescued him from the Oakland ASPCA, and he was really good. He was, I was
Yeah.
happy to have him for the time we did, but we just got his ashes back yesterday. So they were really nice. They really did a good thing. I want to say thank you to Donnie and Nicole. 'Cause, Donnie, Nicole, and Tom all came with me. Um, they drove me out and took me to go do that, and they refused to let me pay. Nicole, I think, ended up paying for the whole thing, and it was just, Tom was, we know Tom, Ken's dad, and he's this kind of hard guy, and he was like, at the same time, he was that hard kind of like keep your head up. He was quite comforting, which was weird because I've never experienced that from him. But it
Yeah.
was a nice thing. He was caring for sure. So it was yeah. It just stunk. And then it just, Laura was in Disneyland and the girls were with their dad. So, I had an internal thing, the Donnie and Nicole and Ken and them were like, don't ruin our trip. Just don't tell. But I'm talking to her the whole time. So like I'm like, I don't feel good about not just being open and honest about this. When I finally got home and I was just kind of like, but sitting by myself, I go, I can't just keep doing this. She's got to know. So I ended up telling her, and um, she still had a few, was able to, enjoy a couple of more days in Disneyland. She came home a day early, but that was more because the people she was with were frustrating her on top of the sorrow. So it's like, how like you can kind of block that out if you're having a good time somewhere else. It didn't seem like she was having too great of a time. So she came home early, had to, deal with that. And then the girls came home the next day after she got home, or that afternoon. So then had to explain it to them, which has been rough. But the other day we actually adopted a new puppy, or a new dog. So
Really?
Yeah, I was.
What'd you get?
It's a 10-month-old hound mix of some sort. His name is Benny. They
Eh,
wanted to name him
I like
Benny.
that name.
It's
I
a
like
good
that
name.
name.
It's so super close to Bruno though, so it's like I
Yeah,
keep calling
yeah,
him
yeah.
fucking Bruno, which it is what it is. But I just we had talked about it. uh, at first it was like Laura was like, I don't know if I'll ever want a dog again. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And then a couple days in, she's like, the home just feels empty now. Like our apartment feels empty without, a dog here. And I was just like, I'm comfortable with whatever. I did a lot of grieving, a lot of grieving. I was without her for a couple of days. I mean, I took almost a whole day of grieving before I told her about it and stuff. And I go, I'll be okay with whatever decision you make, but I want to make sure that you're not one jumping the girls into something they're not ready for and jumping yourself into something you're truly not ready for. So I was like, really think about it. Like, don't just get this dog and then expect it to be a replacement and then try and nitpick and compare, because it's just going to drive you to be further upset. And we had a long conversation about it. And so we drove out to the San Francisco ASPCA. They were doing um a discount deal where if you adopt a dog that's older than, I think, like 8 months or something like that, 8 months to adult, it's just the small transactional fee. You don't have to pay the full adoption fee. So we were able to do that, and he's been great so far, so really excited.
I'm curious, what do they charge for something like that? For like an
uh
adoption fee?
it's like a couple $100 at that.
Fuck.
We walked out only paying $30 for
Yeah.
him, because they waived the adoption fee. They're trying to get rid of the older, it just stinks because people are looking for puppies, right? So Bruno was
Yeah.
3 years old when we got him, and now he's 10 months, which 10 months is a lot younger. But I'm perfectly fine getting an older dog and training it than only focusing on getting a puppy. Puppies are real pain in the asses.
They're fucking little kids, little babies.
Yeah, so it's been great, but we still
What you
miss him.
sipping on there?
This is we went to Sonic yesterday, and I had gotten cherry limeade slush,
Fuck
and we
yeah.
put Tito's vodka in it, but I didn't finish it yesterday. I had a lot of heartburn yesterday. I had fucking pizza and spicy taquitos, salsa, chili, like these. By the way, Target has some of the best chili. It's like a sweet Thai chili, pistachios, phenomenal. I had some of those. I had some fucking hot fries, so my stomach was really fucked up yesterday.
You just fucking murder yourself, dude.
you know,
Always.
and then I'm like, we're watching. We finished The Boys last night, so I'm sitting there, and I finally just took the drink because I got about a good 2/3 the way through it. I kind of just put the drink in the fridge, and I'm like, I'm done. And then I was like super uncomfortable because I couldn't lay down right, and I kept moving around on the couch. And every time I'd move and make the heartburn. So I finally got into bed, and I just laid still. And I'm like, oh my God, it feels so good. I can like feel my heartburn like settling down because I'm not moving all over the place. Just like sit myself up with two pillows. And before I knew it, I was fucking out like a light. But yeah, no. I never really, and it stinks. I gotta fucking I love I love
You love
spicy
the worst shit
food.
for you.
I love the red
Yeah.
sauce. I don't get pizza with white sauce. So fuck all that. That's all gay.
I finally hit fucking Frank's yesterday. Me,
Oh, did you
Ken, Tom, and the
finally
boys
go,
went to
huh?
Frank's. Yeah,
Nice.
so I thought it was just one restaurant. I thought there was a bar serving Mexican food. I didn't realize it was two separate establishments.
Yeah.
It's like a Mexican restaurant, then there's Frank's the bar.
Yeah, no, that so
Okay.
so Frank's has always had that the extra bar thing. And what they basically do is they basically rent that spot to local, because it used to be a different restaurant that was in there. And then this place took over because I think it had to do something after COVID. or something around there. Yeah.
Well,
Like
the lady was
COVID,
saying that the kids bought it from the parents and they remodeled everything and
that makes
switched
sense.
everything around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great food though. What'd you have?
We just got a bunch of appetizers. We got
Oh yeah.
chicken wings. We
The
got
wings.
fries. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah. There's tons of good
Just
stuff.
all finger food.
Yeah, no, it's great. You know, it's nice when you go to a bar and you can order some food that's not just like the prepackaged frozen stuff. Like it's fresh ingredient, like it's fresher stuff, at least I would say. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not like Tyson chicken wings that they toss in Frank's Red Hot.
No, even the
Actually,
chips were homemade.
yeah, they actually did good stuff. Yeah, I love that. I didn't know we on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday, Laura had surprised me, had her mom come over and took me out to go eat. We went to Sunshine Saloon in Pleasanton. Yeah. And I've been there a couple of times, like, you know, after a couple of like bar hopping in Pleasanton, you end up there. They got like beer pong and shit, and or like gone there for karaoke or what have you. But I've never been there during the day to eat, and they actually have a fucking good menu. We had like crab sandwiches, like grilled cheese crab sandwiches. I was like, damn, this is good. The chicken wings were okay, like, but they weren't crap. So I'm like, oh, this is good. There's tons of like different crab and shrimp and stuff, just like a whole like a really good sized menu for this place. So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that it had like food here. I've only been here after dark when it's fucking party time. It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Hopefully we're gonna try and I'm trying to get the guys from Fully Posable on to do a draft too pretty soon. What I'm thinking is fast food items. So Hardy, I hope you're available whenever that gets going. That'd be fun to do. Real quick too, I also want to keep on mentioning, if I can here, that I have my movie rankings up for anybody to look. I haven't added much else, but you want to see the best movie of this year, Everything Everywhere All at Once, 97. Even you want to look at some old school stuff. The Hills Have Eyes, the original from 1977, 78 out of 100. I have a bunch, over 240 right now and counting. You can also, if you'd like to request something, I'll put in a notebook to try and get to that movie ASAP and give you a score on it. This is available through a pinned tweet. My pinned tweet on Twitter has the link for it. The About section on Facebook has it. I've been placing it in the YouTube description, the link to this, and you can go check out my movie scores. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, 81 out of 100. Very, very fun movie to watch. So yeah, I'd like to keep plugging that.
I've seen a lot of people talking shit about Lightyear, like it was fucking promoting gay stuff. When I took my kids to go see it, I didn't see any of that. Like it was a little bit, but I didn't notice it. It wasn't a big deal to me.
Yeah, no, so it's funny you bring this up because you're in the group text with Donnie, and I had mentioned it with Ty, where Donnie and Jared like kind of started to get into like what is the propaganda of movies and stuff like that. And those are those kind of people who are like, they're promoting LGBTQ, because the woman who was originally partners with Buzz Lightyear, yeah, it turned out to be a lesbian. Like, I don't that's the difference that I think me and Ty talked about, is having shit that feels shoehorned in and that feels natural. That felt supernatural to me. I had no issue with it. You just said you took the kids to see it. It wasn't like a big detracting thing from it. It's just like she was gay. Like what's
it was perfectly normal to me.
Yeah, they didn't linger on it. They didn't like hammer that into your face. They're just like, she's gay in a story. But that's Pixar too, right? Like, you get to these other movie studios and they want to put an idea like that and they want to really just nail it into your head.
Yeah.
Pixar will be like, just put it in there and aside. People will notice, but not really. And the people who are outraged about it, I mean, it's the same people. Did you ever hear the outrage about Turning Red that they did?
Yes. Yes.
It's all just stupid stuff. But this is the whole thing that also on the other side, me and Donnie had gone back and forth about was, oh my goodness, do not fall. This is going to fall. This is so stupid. I fucking hate this setup. I
Yeah.
gotta fucking fix it. But anyways, so we had talked about was like the whole Peter Pan thing, right? The or stuff that they pulled from Disney Plus. They pulled things, they've cut scenes, they put warnings in between the movies and be like, hey, you know, if you don't want your kid to see it and this may disturb the viewer, whatever it says. I think that's a kind of a bullshit thing to do. I think you should be a educated movie watcher. I think, if you're going to be worried and offended and outraged by something that you show your kids, you should maybe read a little more and maybe watch the movie beforehand is what I would say, right? Like for us, I'm sure you're the same. Not much really, trips you up when you're going to show your kids. We're not
Yeah.
looking to show nudity to them, and we don't want to hear overuse of cuss words. That's
Right.
about it.
Yeah. I heard a bunch of the fucking podcasts that I listened to. They were talking shit about it. So I wanted to fucking engage it myself and see what my kids were gonna think, and they didn't even mention it once.
No, they don't. What podcast were you listening to that they mentioned it?
It was the fighter and the kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even.
It's
I
tough.
I can't even watch. Is this all coming from Brendan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't even watch
Yep.
the King and the Sting anymore. One they went to Patreon, which or
Super
they went
cringe.
to Patreon most of the time, which good for them. Get your money. This is how you get paid. I think I think Brendan Schaub is maybe, we're gonna get into. I'm not a comedian. This is kind of like, this goes into like the whole drama thing. You follow most of these same comedians podcasts, so they'll
Oh
get
yeah.
into circles where people are talking shit about who, and it's kind of weird that I feel that I can make the same comments, but whatever. His stand-up special stunk. He got
Yeah.
roasted by so many
Everybody.
comedians online about how bad his special was. But he sells tickets, right? So he has an audience. My thing is I feel like what most of the comedians do is they use their platform of how good they are at stand-up to then do a podcast. So it basically gives you a connection to them so more people can buy tickets to their shows. That's where they make the money, is when they go on tour and they sell tickets. The podcast is something they can do during the week. It's a tax write-off. They earn money from ads, and then they can get that connection to their fans. And I feel like every step of the way, Brendan has, instead of been thinking about, oh, well, I just want the fans to come see me, so let me do it. He's trying to earn more money off their skin by going to like third of a time having the King and the Sting on Patreon. And I mean, maybe DeLeo was in his ear or whatever. I just don't feel like it's right, I don't feel like it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
do your normal programming and then add an extra Patreon show, all good. Go for it. Like that's well deserved. But to pull stuff from the normal audience every week and say, well, now you have to pay if you want this content. It's like, well, now I'm not gonna buy your merch. Now I'm not gonna buy your tickets. Like, but people who really love those guys will. And it sucks because like even when you think about Theo Vaughn, like a lot of his fan base isn't like the most wealthy people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he really identifies with that Southern mentality of shit. So, what is their what are they doing about it? Are they still going to be able to? Are they paying to get that now? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, something about that guy just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just so arrogant, just so fucking the way he talks, the way he doesn't let anybody talk. I don't know, but I still listen, so I can't really talk too much shit.
I mean, yeah, you do what you do. Yeah, I mean, it you know, it's hard to drop a podcast, right? You know, I fight over it. I'm not gonna have much more. You know, I'm gonna start becoming a apprentice next week, right? Basically, basically an apprentice. I'm gonna have to listen to and follow instructions for every minute. I'm used to listening to podcasts all day long, so I'm gonna have to fall off on a bunch of shit. So, you know, just is what it
It'd be
is.
rough.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
rough for a minute, but no, but like, what do you think of Buzz Lightyear, or what do you think of Lightyear? Excuse
Layer.
me. Yeah,
It was good. It was
yeah.
okay.
I didn't think that was kind of what I thought too. I was really kind of upset um when because there was whole speculation, and you know, you've listened to me and my brother go on and I talk about the Pixar theory and this and that and what does each movie mean to it. And right at the beginning they're just like, this was the movie that Andy watched when he was a kid. And
Yeah.
I'm like it kind of took me out from the movie for a minute, like just knowing that nobody's in, this is a movie inside a movie universe. Like, okay, so there's no, in that, even in that universe, in that Pixar universe, there's no threat to these people because it's a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
subconsciously it did something to me, so it immediately took something off. I thought it was well done. It just kind of didn't make any sense. Like, it kind of screwed
Nah.
up the whole
Especially the
theory of
Zerg
like
thing.
the Zerg thing, like being old Buzz. It was a very interesting thing that they did, but then you go back and you go, okay, so why and then as Buzz's toy, one, Zerg looks different. Two, Zerg is still doing the Darth Vader thing. Like, so we're just retconning all of that because you wanted to make it this existential meaning of who Buzz Lightyear is. Like, I understand, like it felt like they were there, like this should have been like a super fun kids movie about space adventure. I
Yeah.
mean,
It didn't seem
fucking
like a Toy Story movie.
no, it did not. So it was just super weird for me, you know, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was basically like fucking Interstellar or whatever, you know. Like they took a page out of Interstellar or what's the Matt Damon one? Uh, Mars something
I
like
know
that. I
exactly
don't know.
what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about, but can't figure
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. What what's been going on? How the kids doing? Everything's good with them?
Everything's good, my friend. Everything's good. Everything's going.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to get into my TikTok corner if you're ready.
Oh, bro, I've been fucking obsessed. I just got into TikTok recently, and I'm fucking obsessed with TikTok. It's so addicting.
I know, right?
So many idiots.
Oh, dude, it's great. Well, it's why, it's been a great thing that they've done on YMH for a long time, is getting weird videos and stuff. And one of their things too
Yeah.
is they'll, like, once they find a groove of somebody, they'll explore a ton of their videos for a while. And I think we found our first person of that elk in this video right here. If you guys watched last week, you're going to recognize these people. This is the one that I did double videos last week for the first time, where I had the woman who had the fucking weird ass voice, and then I got Casper to fucking buckle when I put
Yeah,
the
he got
video of him.
scared.
I put the video of him crying. He's like, "Oh, now I feel bad that I made fun of her voice," and I'm like, "Well, breaking news. Make sure you listen to this video really clearly and watch. All right."
LMAO, literally the cheapest place to stay. What do you say about that?
Sis, I'm sorry that my vacation is not expensive enough for you, but I'm out here living my best life. So thanks for your comment. Oh, you live in my shopping fantasy? Duh.
It's a fake fucking voice. This bitch is crying about a fake voice. Casper, if you're watching this, do not feel bad. The woman from the videos last week is faking the voice. We can continue to make fun of. I don't know if I want to keep making fun of her, but my timeline is literally filled with these two in Disney World right now.
Yeah, when she first started talking, I was like, what the fuck? That's not her.
Yeah. And then she did the voice after, and I'm like, we can't. So now I want to fucking I want everybody to go find these people and attack them. No, but for real, like you do this fake video, this fake voice, which now that I know it's a fake voice is kind of funny. Like if they just like are annoying people on, because like one of the things up on this reply thing was like see in the top corner of the video, it's like the reply. This one says LMAO, literally the cheapest place to stay. They do it for most of their videos. So like one of them, I think one of them I watched was like, oh my god, this is the most annoying voice in the world, and then she's doing the voice in the Disney parks or whatever. But then to do that when somebody says, do that video of like she's crying because everybody's making fun of her voice is a backstep from the whole bit of it, right? It's what is it? What's your joke here? What's your joke? If you're purposely trying to annoy people, purposely be annoying. I double down.
Yeah, play into it. Play into
it. One of the ones I seen, because it is, my timeline is flooded with these guys in Disney World. I don't know how long they've been there, but they have tons of videos. And one of the videos they made in the reply thing, somebody had said like, why don't you put your phone down and enjoy your vacation with your children? And they're like dancing in front of like a thing. And I'm like, I mean, I kind of agree. When I go to Disneyland, I'm not sitting there on my phone the whole time. Like, unless I'm trying to find ride times or order food.
They obviously got an audience and they're doing it for a reason. They're capitalizing on it. You're playing it here. So there's probably a bunch of other people doing the same.
I mean, I'm in. I'm in on this. I hope they triple down and I hope she tries to be even more annoying. I would love that. I would love that for her. Oh yeah, this is a good one right here. Have you seen Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness yet?
No.
You gotta watch it. It's on Disney.
I tried to watch it.
Oh really? What happened?
Yeah. You know, I'm just not a big Marvel fan like that.
Yeah, and also it doesn't help that the rest of the douchebags in the group chat are all roasting it, hurting, fucking talking shit about my opinions. It's always me. It's always me. I don't know anything about movies. It's not
I know they go hard on you.
These guys watch the dumbest shit from the 1980s that was low budget, and they're like, "This is good compared to what you watch." Yeah. All right.
Our final member, Professor Charles Xavier.
Spoilers. Those of you listening, and this is from Lights Camera Barstool, which I love their podcast. They're a great movie podcast. They took the entrance of Charles Xavier into the 838 when they're doing the Illuminati reveal, and basically turned it into he's a character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which is fucking hilarious. It's so funny. I was like, because when I'm going through TikTok, I usually stop on pretty much everything that has to do with Marvel, at least to see what they're saying, whether or not I think their point is valid. And as soon as all of a sudden they pan out and he's grinding the fucking rail, I'm like, what the fuck did they do to Professor?
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love the Downs ones.
Oh, the Downs. Oh man. There's a family out to eat at a hibachi restaurant.
Oh,
2, 3 attempts to throw it in the mouth. 4 attempts to throw it in the mouth. 5 attempts to throw it in the mouth. 7. You can hear the crowd actually dying down at this point. Like, we're still doing this. He's still going. Almost on number 10 attempt. There's number 10, I think. I made a lost count. He's still going for it. Everybody's so quiet at this point. Just imagine being at this dinner. Hey! Imagine, because I know at hibachi restaurants, they sit you with a bunch of random people, right? If there's not enough to fill up the table and you only have 2, they'll put you in there. Just imagine you're on a date with your lady and you're sitting next to this guy and you're like, can you just throw it to me or something? He can't get it in his mouth. He's not going to get it in his mouth. Like, you're wasting
He looked
food.
like one of those baby birds too, just with his mouth open.
I mean, I can't lie. I've been this person trying to throw grapes into my mouth when I'm watching, the X Games or something like that. But oh, that was funny. I watched that video and then immediately just started it over. Because I knew instantly. I was like, this is one of those funny things where I find it funnier the awkward it gets. Right, once you already know what the joke is and it just continues to go, like when me and Ty did that draft a long time ago of like I think we drafted like add characters and yeah. So I started off and I was like, I did the first 2 Otter Pops characters and then like, what's going to happen because I've drafted 2 in a row. I'm going to do all the Otter Pops. And it's just like, all right. And then I find it funnier as it goes on. And then another recurring, here's more recurring. If you remember these guys, I actually made a clip from these guys last week. These are the 69 boot guys. This one absolutely stunned me when I watched it. It's quick, so pay attention.
This is the last time I buy a gnome from Dollar Tree.
Listen, I'm watching after your brothers and sisters.
Do you get it?
No.
Well, first of all, I thought it was hilarious. So I watched this probably about 6 times. So I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, they've got a paralyzed man in a wheelchair who talks through the voice thing. That's funny as fuck.
That was his voice?
That first one, yeah, that super robotic is
I thought it was a narrator.
No. That's the guy in the wheelchair. Second of all, now they have a midget or a little person who's hanging out with this crew. So I watched it a couple more times and I realized what he's saying is I'm taking care of your brothers and sisters. He's standing in a vegetable garden.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now,
play it again.
With that knowledge, let's watch that one more time.
This is the last time I buy a gnome from Dollar Tree.
So he calls him a gnome.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching after your brothers and sisters.
They're both just talking shit to each
Okay.
other. It's once you realize what's going on, it's so much funnier. So much funnier. Those guys are fucking great.
It's genius.
It's super funny. And then let's just hammer down this last one. This last one is almost a minute long. So buckle in, buddy. First of all, how would you describe how the guy, for the people listening only, how would you describe how this man looks?
I don't know. First it says point of view, meeting your new stepson. There's a guy standing there with a big trench coat. Looks like a phony ass Indiana Jones kind of guy.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like somebody.
Creepy.
I don't know what his shirt is. It looks like a Liz. Oh, I know what his shirt is. It's a Mountain Dew shirt. You'll see that as he starts moving through. It's a Mountain Dew t-shirt. He's got a long black trench coat on. The like pink glasses, clear, like semi-transparent. And then he's got like an Indiana Jones style hat on. So let's just watch. You're gonna enjoy this. POV meeting your new stepson.
So you're the new guy, eh? Well, let me get something straight, bucko. I'm not looking for a new father. My real one left some time ago. And at first, I was angry. But then I realized it just made me stronger.
So that's about halfway through the video. What do we think so far?
Yeah, I don't. He's a creep.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
I guess that was his gift to me. So, anyway, I've become something of the man of the house. And if you've got a problem with that, well, then you can meet my blade. Didn't think so. Anyway.
Hold up. I want to go back because I want you to read the shirt. What? It's a hanging up upside down bottle of Mountain Dew with a hose coming to the Mountain Dew logo, but on the right side above it, it says, "In case of accident, my blood type is Mountain Dew." And he just for those of you, he just pulled out a sword from the trench coat.
My blade. Didn't think so. Anyway, now that the formalities are over, Mom said you have to take me to Wendy's.
Got to make sure you get that Baconator, dog.
Oh shit. He is fucking funny. Does he have anything else online?
I haven't seen any more. I have to check. I'll have to dig deeper into his TikToks. I like guys like that. They're because I mean, you can tell there's a difference between somebody who's acting that out and who's actually that way. I think there's a little bit of serious, that. But there's a little bit of that nerd in him, and he's like, I'm gonna just hyper do this and let's make it a joke. And it's very, very funny. It was good.
Yeah. Well done.
Like there's that one guy, I don't know if you ever seen him. He does the he acts like the little boy who's like the boss of everybody. He's like, Greg, you took my toy. He's fucking that guy's. He does stuff like this too, where he's like, it's basically the same idea. He's like, I'm the little boy who doesn't get along with anybody. He'll do like which ones do I see a lot? 1920s baseball player or something like that, like just characters, and he makes jokes about it, which they're very funny. They work well for TikTok for sure. Like these people can only exist in the TikTok world.
Yeah. Chug.
Pause for the cause there. I feel a little loose. Nice. Yeah, it's been good. No, that TikTok, I love doing it because it's fun now too. Like, because what I would do before is I'd see these videos and I would just send them to like you, Donnie, Johnny Guzman, and my brother over and over again and send like a bunch of them. Now I just take them, I save them, I put them into a little file. I go, you're getting shown on the show next week. Some unwilling participant is gonna have to react to this on the internet.
Oh, it's a fucking great segment, dude.
Yeah.
I even think that you could fucking run off that and just play them by yourself if you're on a slow day.
Yeah,
you just play like fucking 30 of them.
Yeah, I just have to get that many together. You know, it's hard because like I have a standard, right? I could save a bunch of shit from TikTok and like them all not be gold, but like I want every video that I show on here to elicit a real response. Yeah. Some of them I have to go back in and I go, does this hold up to the standard that you think it does? It's like, no. I'm like, all right, get rid of it. I mean, there's thousands of creators on here. Some of the great stuff is just like when it's like when I can stumble upon something every once in a while that has like 1 like and like 2 comments. I'm like, oh, I just the gold mine here. Nobody's seen this. Nobody in the world has seen this. Let me send this over. Let me save this real quick. So it's a really exciting thing for me. Oh, dude, excited for football season.
I was just about to mention
news
that.
Break. Yeah,
you got any plans on what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, or when?
No, I have to reach out. One, I know that most, all you guys are good. We got Jared in Oklahoma. but I have to reach out to my brother and Jose and Josh and see. They'll probably want to meet somewhere and do it if we want to do it live.
What about your uncle?
What?
Wasn't he in the one that was super pissed that came for
Oh,
autographing?
no, yeah, he dropped out last year though.
Oh no, that was so funny.
Yeah, he dropped out. He dropped out before last year, actually. Yeah, no,
About the auto drafting.
yeah, because he stinks at it. Like that's my uncle, and God bless him, but he stinks at fantasy football. He's not good. and Ken auto drafted and won the league, and he's like, shouldn't be able to do that. And I'm like, it doesn't, like, I understand the thing of like, okay, you should account for a little human error or whatever, but Ken was making moves during the season. Those guys,
I wish everybody auto draft.
when they
Better
got
for
to
me.
exactly, like, you can find the diamonds in the rough that way. Unfortunately, his team was auto drafted. The players that were available for him worked out for him. They were available for you to pick too. You decided not to. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
If you thought so strongly on it, you should have went out and got him.
There's a lot of luck that goes into it too.
A ton of it, an absolute ton of it. You can have your first round draft pick get injured, and your season, like, you will never get another guy with that kind of value anywhere else. Like, you're not going to pick somebody up off the waiver wire who gives you what any other first rounder would do for your team. And that's just the way it is. Jonathan Taylor last year from the Colts. I mean, he was one of those guys, was drafted fairly high. People knew what to do. But, like, if we would have known he was going to do that, he would have been 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. He would have been in that top 3 conversation. But
yeah, and I drafted Debo hella high, not because I'm a genius, just because I'm a homer, and I got lucky.
Yeah, you went out of your way to go get him higher because you're a homer, not because because anybody else who does the research will be like, well, his draft value isn't that high. But also the people who do the research don't realize that they're going to start using him as a running back too.
Nobody knew that. Nobody's seen that coming.
Nobody can see that coming. So that's just one thing or the other. Yeah.
I'm juiced, bro.
I'm very excited. So I want to get together. I want to get a room at a pizza parlor. Hopefully, if we can do that. That way, everybody we can, except for Jared. Jared's going to be the outlier. Can get together and we can do it. If not, I can also do a sort of lifestyle draft, which I think we're going to do with Johnny Roca's league, where basically I will have a Zoom meeting for all people. I will have the big board like normal, one of the big boards, and I'll run it, and you guys make picks from, the comfort of your homes. If we can't get to that, or we just do it online like we've been doing, it depends. I've got to work and figure out the schedule and stuff like that, talk to everybody and see when we can do that. Because I want to do it, you want to do it as close to the regular season as you can, but people get busy. So it's good to kind of put that word in now.
Yeah.
No, most of you guys haven't done a live draft either, which is fun. Your first time is so much fun. I think, who was it in the group that was talking shit about Gary? Was it Gary who was like, yeah, he's like, well, Jared. It was Jared. He's like, you get messed up and you made bad picks. And Gary's the one like, yeah, no, you guys make bad picks. You're idiots. He's like, stay smarter. You can drink after the draft. I mean, it's typical Gary shit. That's what he does. He does the same thing for fucking poker.
Jared's become so fucking hilarious. He's become the ultimate troll lately. Oh, last couple months.
He's just so good.
Turned it on big time.
Oh my god.
Fucking asshole.
He's like, I'm so far away. I can basically say whatever I want and know what are they gonna do?
The nicest guy in the world now. All he does is talk shit.
I think he's like realized what some, because I've trolled him a couple times, like just being gullible and shit like that. And I think he's like picked up on it. He's like, oh yeah, I could really fucking get these guys here. Yeah, no, it's very like what was the one he did the other day? Had me fucking laughing. I can't remember. Oh, but he gets Donnie so riled up.
Donnie takes him serious.
Oh, how long was that? I make $250 an hour going on for?
He believed it.
He believed
Oh.
that fucking Jared was in Oklahoma making like less than $5 an hour. And he was getting so mad. Yeah, but you don't fucking live here in California. Like, you fucking moved, you fucking traitor. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, yeah. So fucking very funny, man. So very funny.
Can you show your pup to the tubes?
I'd have to try and get him in here. We can see. Let's see.
Let's see, old Benny.
Man the helm real quick.
Yes, sir. Yep, you're gonna have to cut this part out. A lot of dead silence.
Come here, boy.
Oh, here he comes.
Sure. Hey.
There
Come
he
on.
is.
Come. Come on. Come on. No, come on. I'll pick you up. You just gotta get over here.
Oh,
There he is.
dang.
Okay, he's not gonna do it anymore. All right, back up now. Messing up my microphone and shit.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's fairly big. He's not small. He's probably about 50 pounds or so.
You gonna butter him up like Riley?
No, that was my dad's doing. I swear to God, I didn't do that shit. My dad would feed him fucking table scrap or feed her or Riley table scraps all the time.
I wish people who are listening who've never seen Riley before could just see Riley. She
Oh
is
my
so
goodness.
big.
Yeah, I have a picture of her. Let me see. I could show the camera probably.
She is a fucking so cute and fat.
It's absurd.
I don't know how a dog gets that big.
So this is I took this picture yesterday so you can see not just the head of the guy.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, he's very, very cute. Let's get Riley. Let's get a picture of Riley. Jesus Christ. Fucking little butterball, dude. Every time I see it too, just getting fatter and fatter. Not losing any weight.
Hilarious.
Come on, I know there's one in here. Yeah, no, my dad, he'd be like, your dog's too fat, you need to exercise. I'm like, how am I supposed to exercise? Like one time, so I made Spam rice and eggs for breakfast, right? Spam fried rice. I had probably a full bowl, a full bowl that I would eat left in the pot. He goes, I see him. He goes over to the kitchen, he grabs the pot and he starts walking with it. I go, what are you doing? He goes, giving the rest to Riley. I'm like, no, I'm going to take that to work tomorrow for my leftovers. What do you mean you're going to give it to Riley? Oh, this is a good one. This is a great
Gary had me fucking raging when he said fried rice isn't fried.
We got to talk about that.
Oh, shit. Dude, this fucking shit's huge. I remember she's a husky pit bull. She looks like a fucking bear. Like a polar bear.
So fucking funny. No, when Gary said that, I about lost my mind. I don't know if he was trolling or not. I don't think he was.
I had to stop working. I had to tell my coworkers, I need to step away for a second. Fried rice is fried.
I need to reply to this because the Asian guy.
Reply to anything.
The Asian guy in the group is trying to tell us that fried rice isn't fried.
Yeah, I was like, how do you make it then? We're not buying it from fucking Canada.
I don't think Gary makes any food.
Dumbass.
I don't think Gary makes any food. That's the problem.
I agree.
He I imagine, because I'm like, okay, let me break this down. I'm like literally breaking it down in my head. I'm like, okay, so he doesn't understand.
You went to Wikipedia.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Here's the definition of fried rice. I don't know why I'm telling a fucking Chinese man what the fuck is going on with fried rice.
That pissed me off.
So then I go, okay, so let's break this down. I'm thinking in my head, let's break this down. So he doesn't think that fried rice is fried, and he keeps comparing it to fried chicken and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously he thinks the only type of
Deep
frying
fry.
is deep frying. So he thinks that we're all taking our fried rice or our rice mixture and dumping it into a deep fryer.
Something, or put in a bunch of grease. I don't know what he was thinking. I was like, dude,
And then he said,
stupid white people.
So
Like,
is
what?
And then he said, so is chow mein fried then? And I'm like, that's what it is. And he's like, no, that's chow mein. That's not fried noodles. And then I'm like, here we go. We're going right back here. Let me go to the fucking interwebs here. Chow mein. And it's a chow mein is an Asian stir fried style of noodles. Screenshot, highlight, send it. Gary, are we gonna keep doing this all day?
He was so confident.
I can't. He was talking shit. You
I
fucking
know, that
white
pissed
people
me off.
don't fucking know what anything is. I'm like, I wish you would go back to the motherland. And so, like, where's Wing's parents out to come smack the shit out of you, Gary?
Yeah, fuck. Like I said, I never respond on that group at chat at work, but I had to take a second and tell everybody I need a second. Fried rice.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I can't work with this in my head. I've got to see how this plays out. I was shook at work too, believe me. Or what I can't remember when that conversation happened, but I was shook when it happened. There's just some things sometimes that just literally surprise the fuck out of me.
So it was hella random too.
It's because I think I said something about like I'm making a fried rice for dinner. He's like, not even fried. Or I don't even know. I don't know. That was fucking so funny. So funny. Another moment like that too was the other day when the whole are you gay if you want to if you marry a transgender dude or something like that. and then Donnie said what was probably because in my I knew I wasn't gonna be able to put it out there in the text exactly what was going on in my head, but the conversation was like, you know, what going like, well, they are what they are, you know, and then like, well, I think it should be whatever you're born as. That's what your gender is. So you're gay or whatever, what have you. I'm not throwing anybody on the bus of who said what. And then, except for Donnie, I'll say exactly what he said. he said that either way you split it, you're gay for doing it, because if you want to marry a woman that's transitioning into a man, then you're gay because you're looking for a dude. But if you want to marry a woman or a man who's transitioning into a woman, that guy was that was a guy to begin with, so you're still gay. And I'm like, so what I was thinking in my head was, you're progressive enough, like you have enough progressive ideology to think that good for a woman that transitioned to a man is now a man in your head, now a man. But you're not progressive enough to think that a man transitioning to a woman is a woman at that point. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, I just had an epiphany. This is wild. It was just like such a fucking thought to me. I was like, what is going on here? But
fucking that group chat sometimes it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, it's a topic of conversation. I literally just try and bring it here all the time too. And
yeah,
Donnie will get afraid. So then I just go, you know what? I'm not going to have Donnie on. I'll just expose him on this thing. One day he's going to listen to this. He's going to go, I don't want you fucking talking about the shit I said. I'm going to have to be like, all right, I'm sorry, Donnie. I won't do it anymore. But it's just so funny to me. You know, it's like everything's fucking hilarious. If somebody gets offended, I mean, there's only like fucking 30 people who listen to this anyways. What are they going to cancel? But are they gonna go find Donnie, you know, at his place of work and cancel him?
Here's the shit.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a
We're
shit.
not saying anything that bad, anyways.
No. No, I mean, I literally put out the clip yesterday from last week's podcast about how I was talking about how my brother just dropping like 40 hard R's on this podcast.
Yeah,
That's
funny when you do that.
And the first person to like and share it was my brother.
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
should have seen Casper's face. He was like,
"Oh, dude, no."
He was walking on eggshells. He was a little sketched out. Like, who is this kid?
There was a couple things that I had said, and I seen him look over because I don't know if it, his lady was with him or his dad was with him because he's down visiting his dad. His dad was
a military kid.
Yeah. So he's just like, what's going on? I'm like, let me. There was a couple times too, like I was gonna get into some wild stories, and like he kept going, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna cut him off. I'm not gonna cut him off. We're not gonna do it. Like when I brought up the whole recruiter thing, right? Like how weird it is that these guys, and he immediately had like tried to take over that subject because he thought I was gonna start roasting. I think he thought I was gonna start calling them like pedophiles or something like that. Like trying to.
That's right. That's where you're going to.
No, that's not where I was going actually. I'll tell the story now because it's super funny. It is strange and it is super kind of like pedo that
it's creepy that these guys come see these kids all the time.
Yeah, they're adult men and women who go to the high school and try and convince them to die for your country. It's a strange thing in general. But one of my friends in high school, his name is Josh Patstone. He's a character in itself. I mean, he's just literally a character. I known him for 5 years throughout like high school and afterwards, like being good friends with him. I took him he was with me when we were at the Oakland A's playoff game, like when Coco Chris hit the walk-off against the Tigers for their only win in that ALCS or whatever. He was with me. He bought my other ticket. Like
fucking Verlander.
So like he's a character though. Like you don't know if he's gay or if he's just acting gay, but he would take full advantage of these fucking recruiters because they'd come and grab some of our other friends who were like, those guys are like, okay, well, if you don't go to the military, there's not much else for you. So he would tag along with them and go to these things. And their thing is like, hey, you guys want to go get something to eat? I'll buy you all food. So he'd take advantage and get free food from the fucking recruiter. And one day the recruiter goes, hey, what food are you guys hungry for? You guys in the mood for Five Guys? And he just goes right in front of the recruiter. He just goes, oh yeah, I'm totally starving for Five Guys. Five Guys all around my mouth. And the recruiter just stares at him and just goes,
fucking terrible.
All right, let's go get some burgers.
Not saying Five Guys again.
Yeah, so that was where that story was. It wasn't gonna lead into like a real pedophile thing, but oh yeah, no.
So hey, Casper's dad was the Broncos fan or the Chargers?
The Chargers fan.
Yeah,
the Chargers fan. Yeah, he was the Chargers fan. So I told him too, because I got Johnny Roque had sent me, Big Casper's number to get in contact with his son, and I was like, hey, I'm coordinating through you already. If both of you guys want to come to the show, like you guys can do it together. But then it was just, Junior. So I'm like, hey, whatever, get your time to shine.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, I went to his Twitch. I started to watch a video and then immediately had to do something else. I wanted to check out his stuff because
he was nasty. He said
he's talking about how nasty he is. It's just doing that is so hard. You've streamed, I've streamed.
I just do it drunk to talk shit and act weird.
Well, that's the thing too. And remember, whenever I would stream, I would
we're not doing it to be good.
I'd turn on this super aggro aggressive and I'd start yelling at everybody. Like,
remember when you said the N-word?
No, I don't remember that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I never said that.
Later, when erased it. Shit face wasted.
That's because I was too hungover the next day to realize. We can't do that
Morgan
anymore. All
Wallen.
right, Joe Rogan's getting in trouble for convincing somebody to do that shit. We can't do that. What the hell? Oh, that was so funny. And you guys are just
The
say it.
aftermath with it, you're like, you deleted it. You're like, that didn't happen, guys. You're so scared.
Well, of course, like when you're extremely hammered and you're just sitting in front of a fucking
Yeah.
TV, seems like a funny idea.
And he said it with the A, not the ER.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
to
don't
be
drop.
clear.
No, I'm an ally, dude. I don't drop ERs. I just want to be one of the boys, you know.
Fuck,
Oh man, no, those streaming days were good. I'm trying to get some more time. Hoping this guy, you know, just becomes a little better listener, and then I can get back on to play some more games. But man, do I miss playing. Man, do I miss playing a lot.
Hey, are you guys union?
No, we're not a union shop. No.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, we just have one guy, one technician
Installer.
leave and go. Yeah, one installer to leave and go to the union. So, you know
So there's opportunity.
That's there if I want it down the line. You know, once I get my hours, you know, if you accrue a certain amount of hours at anything, you can go in as a journeyman as long as you pass their test, right? Essentially. Yeah, no, there's room to go up. That's what I'm most excited about with, you know, starting the new job, is just having that space to grow and not be stagnant, you know. Warehouse jobs are warehouse jobs. They're supposed to be foot in the doors and you're supposed to move up for them. So super excited about that. Last night we finished The Boys off. What a great season. Do you watch that show, Hardy?
I haven't, bro. No.
Yeah. What are you on right now? I know you're a show guy, so what are you on right now?
Fuck, what's it called? It's on HBO. I don't watch much. It's
Barry?
It's a documentary series. No, it's about a documentary series about these people who want to be anarchists. So they move to Cancun. Yeah.
That seems interesting.
And I'm only on like episode 2 or 3, and
yeah,
supposedly some bad shit happens.
Is it like it's a documentary series? Is it like a limited series where it's like 6-hour episodes, like that kind of thing?
No. It's like a hour each week.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. 6 1-hour episodes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I just watched one like that the other day on was it on Netflix? I think it's on Netflix. It's about what's his name? The DB Cooper. It's about DB Cooper.
The guy with the airplane who robbed the airplane?
Yeah.
Ooh, I know a lot about him. I went into a deep dive on him a couple years ago. You good?
Yeah, no, everything's good. I thought I heard something. But no, it's a fantastic one, and there's a lot of stuff I did not know about it. You know, it's crazy because it's essentially mostly about these guys who did this one documentary on, was it on BBC or the History Channel or something like that, which is crazy because I didn't quite realize it till they showed this one scene, and I go, oh, I've seen that one with my dad. I watched that whole thing with my dad, and I was like, holy shit. So this is the kind of continuation of what happened afterwards and the fallout from that one. Cause they had this whole shebang and whole idea of who they thought DB Cooper was. And then they took
you watched it on HBO.
Was it on HBO?
There's a good one on HBO. Yeah. Where they have 5 different scenarios where he could be like a transgender. He could be, or he did a sex change. Yeah. Some kid found the money on a beach somewhere. He could have died. All that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it just at the end of the documentary that they did, that they had a professional sit down from the FBI, and they're like, no, we don't believe this happened. And they got the flight attendant from the flight who hasn't done anything in fucking 40 years to come in and just do a comparison, is this the man? And she's like, no. It's and they're like, yep, solved, your thing is done. So it's it was a super weird way to end it, because they presented all this information, and then this story kind of takes place afterwards, and the fallout from that, and then gives more and gives more information about what, what's been going on after. And then it also goes into more theories. I didn't even know one of the interesting things that they talked about, and it was like at the tail end of this, like the last episode or so, they talked about how like I didn't know that his name is not DB Cooper. His name is because his name is fake, right? So when he checked in for the flight, he checked in as Dan Cooper. And then somebody in the FBI messed it up, or in the news junket messed it up and wrote DB Cooper. And and we've been essentially calling the whole thing. And then they were talking about how there's a Canadian comic book series, a French Canadian comic book series called Dan Cooper, where the guy is like a liberator and a freedom fighter or something of the sort, who used to be a military pilot, and like literally jumps out of planes and shit. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, this is obviously where the trace links, like it, like this is somebody. And they're talking about how, like, when he originally got on the plane and he asked for he said, I need blank amount in American currency. It's like, no American would say that. They'd be like, give me fucking whatever dollars. Like, obviously the guy's I believe now completely the guy's was a Canadian and he got away with it. He's nobody from the States, but he's a Canadian. And they talked about how, like, the FBI at the time, there was like a lot of shit going on in Canada, so they didn't want any extra outside attention. So like they blocked the FBI and CIA the FBI from trying to investigate anybody in Canada. It's like, obviously that's how we got away with it. This is crazy.
Okay, so I need to watch it, because I watched the one on HBO that you watched with your dad, where it was so disappointing at the end.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, nope, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So the Netflix one goes on, you're saying?
Yeah, the Netflix one goes on. They still kind of have that at times where they talk to like FBI agents and they're kind of downplaying it, but they don't. They ended on a hopeful note, right? They ended in a way where they're like where it's basically like, we don't know who he is, and the hunt still goes on. It's more about the people. It's more of the documentary is more of a deep dive into the mind of the people who spend their whole lives devoted to finding out who it is. So while you get more information that you've never had, you also have a different outlook of it, of like, oh shit, okay, well, these are people too. And like, they're just trying their best to figure it out. Like it's a fun thing for them to do. Like, yeah. So yeah, no, you should watch it. I recommend everybody watch it. It's super. If you have that kind of time, watch that. It's really interesting.
It's the fucking craziest story ever. You fucking ask for a fucking suitcase full of money and a parachute, and you jump out of the plane midair.
Ask for 4 parachutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's for those of you who don't know, he asked for 4 parachutes because essentially, if you ask for 1, they know you're not taking any hostages or going to do anything crazy, so they'll give you a fucked up parachute. So. Or they'll track it or whatever something like that. But if you ask for 4, they think you're going to take hostages with you, so they don't do anything to disturb you.
It was genius.
I mean, just some of the smartest shit ever. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this man was dead and we just, like, not like died early, but like lived out his life and just passed away from whatever, and we'll never know about exactly what. And that's the interesting with anything, right? Me and you are very curious minds. We watch documentaries and stuff. It's just like we want to understand the unexplained shit. It's a super interesting. Like when I watch serial killer documentaries and try and listen, one of the things that's because there's serial killers who are out there talking. Like we have the Ted Bundy tapes and John Wayne Gacy, where these guys were open, quote unquote, openly communicating about what their feelings were. But the thing at the same time with serial killers is they're inherently sociopathic. So they'll make up whatever story makes them feel better or make it. There's stuff from Henry Lee Lucas, I think is his name, where he's going around after he's captured and he's basically owning up to all these murders that there's no way in hell he could have done. But because they want to close these cases, the police departments, and he keeps getting treated nicely. He's on the road. They're giving him burgers and shakes as long as he continues to own up to these crimes. So he's sociopathically taking ownership for stuff. So we don't know exactly what the true answers are. It's why there's always new serial killer documentaries every year. And, you know, there's more Bigfoot stuff every year, just stuff we don't understand.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
Very interesting. All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap this one up, buddy. This has been a fantastic. Sir. It's great to have you back on.
Hey, it's nice catching up with you.
I'll be in contact with you soon about, you know, hopefully we can get a couple of draft subjects, and I want to get, like, you know, a few of us on to draft a string of things, and then I'll cut them up into different episodes so I can either post one that week or save it for another one. Everybody out there, I'm also still, if you want to, Curveballs and Chair Shots did a tier list. They bite in my style. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I
started it.
I take everything I do off of other shows that I like as well. So I don't, you know, it's nice to know that they saw me do tier lists and that they liked it so much they wanted to do their own. That's what I'm really excited about. It shows their true fandom.
I was listening to Bert Kreischer yesterday. He was talking to Fahim Anwar. He's like, "Oh, me and Tom got this great idea. We're gonna go on Two Bears. We're gonna do cocaine and explain the experience to everybody." I was like, "You're a fucking retard."
Yeah. He talked about that on Two Bears, One Cave. They did one of their live shows, which, by the way, they're gonna have a new YMH live in like August. I'm very excited. I love that shit. Those are great. They did one of their Two Bears, One Cave live thing, and the whole time he's like, "Is the coke guy almost here?" And Tom's like, "Yeah, he's almost here." I was like, I don't know if they're both in on the bit, or Tom's like knows this is a bad idea, but he wants to keep leading Bert on to see where it goes. I don't know.
Hilarious.
Very funny. So anyways, if you want to see some more tier lists, send them over to me. You know, you can email trapdoorpod at yahoo.com. Trapdoor to Hell on Facebook, direct message them. Twitter, you can DM at trapdoorpod. YouTube, like and comment the videos. We're getting views on them. We are getting quite a few views on this stuff, but likes and comments really do a good thing. Hardy's laughing. He's like, "You're turning into a fucking YouTuber right now."
No. First, you guys still use Yahoo. I don't know anybody who uses Yahoo.
What kind of email do you use?
A bunch of Gmail.
Yeah, I don't. I've had my Yahoo email for a long time, so I just make Yahoo emails. Seamless, dude. Yeah. They work really well.
It goes with the fantasy shit too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hardy, is there anything that you'd like to plug, my friend?
No, sir.
Of course not.
Never.
You're just a good dude. I remember the first time I said that, you just replugged all my stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna do it again right now.
I love you, man. You're a great friend, and I'm glad that
love you, bro.
I get to call you that. So everybody out there, we'll see you next week. Thanks again for listening. Bye.